So this is going to be the third attempt at a video. I've done two videos prior that I have not showed y'all. One I did it really late at night and I just didn't want to wait for it to finish processing, so I canceled it. And I did one last night, and my computer shut off due to overheating as it was processing, and it tried to recover it, but the audio was a good like a minute shift off from where the video was. I mean, yeah. So I'll show you the basics of what it was that I was doing. I read on the forums about using Spectres and Goliaths to auto 51's. So what I'm doing is I have these guys with batteries and engines, and there's the Siege torpedo ones, and then my Goliaths, which is the hardened barrels auto loader and thuds. And then what I stuck in here was an arbiter with a navigational array that allows for faster map travel. It's sunk, so it doesn't actually show up in the battle, which is good because I don't want it to show up in the battle. It would screw up how it all works. So let's do this. Go show you what it looks like. It actually worked really well. I'm going to use this as a way to rank up the so I can find a 51. I might have to pause the video. I'm using it as a way to rank up. Oh, here's one way out in the middle of nowhere. Why is that right there? That is weird. Okay. In the other videos, I went on the test server and did a couple hits. Did some video replay. We got the video replay thing now. The one sucky thing about my base I need to change a little bit is for the video replay is you get the video replay from the War Academy. That's the first building I have in the line, so even on a prep I can't watch the video. That has to be working to watch the video. So I'm gonna flip-flop these two. More than like, if it dies, it's gonna die, but this is the last one that would die, right? You can tell somebody hit my base, and they only got up to here. It kind of feels like when you only get to here that it was a prep gone bad type thing. So I don't know. I'll show you this thing, and then I'll show you here we go. So I have the Goliaths as the keep them together three. Throw this guy on the edge, and technically the navigational arbiter is right here. But you can see how he moved up to the that cargo in a pretty reasonable speed. So the trick here is all of these guys do see the sub, but they can't shoot underwater. And there's enough distance between the Siege torpedo shorter range and the Thud's longer range that all of the splashing and misaccuracy of these guns don't actually make it all the way to the Goliath. So it actually works pretty well. It'd work a little bit faster if I had 4 Goliaths, but also if I did that, then on the map it would be bloody slow. So I'm actually pretty happy about this, because what you'll end up seeing is everything will be dead, and this will still have just a little bit of time left on it. And all 4 of these are getting rank stuff, and all 4 of these are armored. So I'll recall this guy, and you can sort of see he goes at a pretty decent clip. See, that's if you have Goliaths, you know how slow they are if you've ever put them on the map before. You can kind of tell this is a natural hammerhead. Natural hammerhead actually is going slower than this guy. And nothing really beats this thing, because this has streamlined hull and engines. But that goes at a pretty good clip too. So what I'm building right now, keep an eye on the temperature. I switched to Opera because what I was noticing was you're seeing all four cores running, but when and that's due to the recording. But when Opera is running the game all by itself, only core 1 is actually processing. All the rest of them don't. That might be in some worlds a negative on Opera because it looks like it's not multi-core, it's not multi-threaded, it's just running one thread for it itself and for Flash. But the nice thing is what was happening was on Firefox it was distributing against all the cores and it was overheating. On Google it was distributing against all the cores but just not overheating, so which is really weird. So what I'm working on now is some Missile Cruiser X, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the siege missile here, then 4 strikes, then I have the missile armor on these, then I'll have enhanced warhead 3, compound armor X, and then is that right? Compound armor or RA? I don't remember. It must be compound armor. And then this thingamajigger. Hold on. You can see it here. Strike System 3. That'll be the other thing that goes on there. I was so hoping to get it this time, but they introduced these siege rockets, and that's what ended up winning. I already had the compound panel, so that's what I was really hoping I was going to get this. So maybe next week. So we'll see how that goes. And so I got one. Okay, it's kind of weird. That armor is there, it's just the picture didn't show up. This one actually has, I think what it was is if I changed my plan, right? So I was originally just going to have 2 siege missiles, not originally, but my new plan was to have 2 siege missiles in the strikes. And then if I went with RA, this is just temporary. If I went with RA, then I needed, I had to make sure I refitted this one and take that guy back off. But compound's lighter, so that's might be why I'll have to put together a ultimate shipyard thingy and sort of show you, because it has like crazy amount of damage when you add in the this doohickey, the enhanced warhead, and you add that in with everything else. Oh my gosh, that it puts some firepower down on a base. So that would be cool to see when it actually gets done. But that's about all that's been going on. So I'm just gonna be working on these puppies for quite a while, and that's about it. So I'm gonna work on ranking these guys up now that I know a nice, clean, easy way to do that. And I need to rank these guys up too, so I'll be rotating this guy out when I'm doing these other ones, and see if we can get some of these guys ranked up too. So anyway, have a good day. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.